All my years as an economist, which is roughly 50 years, I have never seen such nonsense as what we just heard from Mr. Trump, and it breaks my heart. It makes me want to cry.
People think that he's the best for the economy compared to the other GOP candidates. How do you explain that?
Sheer idiocy. To believe that he knows anything about the future of the economy or how the economy works is just nonsense.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining us is the man himself, Ben Stein, film actor, author, former speechwriter for Presidents Nixon and Ford. Hello, sir.
Well, I think the main point here, Steve, is that I'm an economist. I studied economics at Columbia. I had honors in economics at Columbia. I studied economics at the Graduate School of Economics at Yale. I was the economist for the U.S. Department of Commerce. I've been writing about economics and teaching about economics my entire life, and I'm sorry to say that's now been roughly 50 years that I've been in the workforce as an economist, and I've never seen such nonsense as is coming out of the lips of Donald Trump, and it breaks my heart because I am Republican. I would a million times prefer to vote for any Republican than for any Democrat, but I'm just scared to death about what Mr. Trump is saying.
Well, you're referring specifically to what he said about the bubble is going to burst and the stock. Don't invest in the stock.
I'm referring to that. Well, any crank can say that. Any crank trying to sell a newsletter can say that, and so I don't blame him so much for saying that. But I mean, I think it's very important that we not know. Even the very, very, very smartest economists, even the very, very smartest people on Wall Street, cannot predict the future of the economy. I mean, even Milton Friedman, who is by far the greatest genius of economics of my lifetime, even Paul Samuelson, the super genius of economics, could not predict the future of the economy. Mr. Trump, who is a casino operator and a hotel operator and a self-promoter, there's no clue at all. I was about to say no effing clue, but this is a family network, so I'm not going to say it. He has no clue at all about what the future of the economy is. None.
But so to those who say, well, Donald Trump is a multi-billionaire, successful businessman. No, I'm just asking.
He's a multi-billionaire. The multi-billionaires are a dime a dozen in America today, and that doesn't show that he knows anything at all about predicting the economy. And by the way, I wouldn't want to be an investor in Donald Trump's enterprise. His investors haven't done well at all. He's done well. His investors haven't done well. Look, if he's the nominee, Steve, if he's the nominee and he's running against Hillary, I'm going to vote for him. But I really wish we'd get somebody who has his head screwed on right about his modesty in economics. It's just he's a fantastically successful self-promoter, but as an economist, even as a businessman, he's not no great shape.
Who do you like, Ben? Is it out of the three?
Well, I like Mr. Cruz very, very much. I mean, I think he there's something wrong with him in terms of his inability to get along with other people in the U.S. Senate. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a U.S. senator quite as much disliked as Senator Cruz is, and that worries me a bit. But he's got his head screwed on right about a lot of issues. He's got his head screwed on right, especially about abortion and about Israel. But Mr. Trump, I mean, I wouldn't take his word seriously about the economy any more than I would take the word seriously of a guy who is selling children's diapers door to door. I mean, he knows no more about it than that guy does.
All right, so what do you think's going to happen? Because it's obvious. I mean, if Trump doesn't get the 1, 2, 3, 7, Cruz needs 88% of all the delegates that are left to gain in the remaining primaries going forward. So he's not going to get 88%. There are states that Trump will win. So let's assume it's an open convention or whatever you want, contested convention. Do you think Cruz gets it on the second ballot, or do you think
I think Trump will win. No, I think Trump's going to be the nominee. I definitely think he will be the nominee, and we could do a lot worse. I think we could do a lot worse. He's got his head on totally right about defense. He knows the main issue in the whole world is that America has to have an adequate defense posture. This is something that Mr. Obama definitely does not know. I think he can get the Congress to go along with him in lifting the sequester on defense. And I think that's the main thing. I wish he would take a few days off and talk to a few people who know something about the economy. The fact that he's getting big crowds tells us nothing about the real rate of unemployment. The fact that he thinks he's going to recoup billions, hundreds of billions, trillions by renegotiating trade deals with China and Mexico is just nonsense. He's probably the most ignorant candidate about economics there's ever been, but I like him anyway because defense is much more important even than economics.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Do you think Hillary is going to be the nominee on the Democrat side?
Without question. Without question. Hillary will roll right over Mr. Sanders. And it's a shame because Hillary is a very flawed human being, but then we're all flawed human beings. You know what kind of interesting thing is here, Steve, is that we're seeing the basic human as the candidate. We're not seeing Superman. We're not seeing Jefferson, we're not seeing Adams, we're not seeing Monroe, we're not seeing Lincoln, we're not seeing TR, we're not seeing FDR, we're not seeing the greatest of great presidents, Dwight Eisenhower. We're just seeing ordinary human beings with all their flaws, warts, and wrinkles.
Gotcha. Ben, come back soon. Great to talk to you, my friend. Thank you.
I'm sorry for all the screw up about the phone.
No, don't worry about it. We're here to make you happy.
God bless you, sir.
All right, take care. Ben Stein, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, your phone calls, 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. Call now.